Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. So this past week, I was asked a very good question via email, and the question was, how important do I think it will be to get a 600 megahertz phone on T-Mobile? Well, in my opinion, it is going to be very important, and here's why. So a buddy of mine just recently traveled from El Paso to Austin, Texas using Interstate 10. Once he got past Van Horn, he was pretty much on no service for part of the stretch, and then unusable data for most, which was roaming on AT&T. So in other areas where T-Mobile can fully roll out brand new coverage with 600 megahertz, in some areas they don't have the entire license of 700 megahertz, which is the case here. As you can see, the magenta areas are all the areas where they have the licensing and it's rolled out. And then in the dark gray areas is where they don't have it. So that was part of the stretch of I-10. As you can see, T-Mobile had no service. So once they get the 600 megahertz, they're going to be able to fill in that coverage gap by using that spectrum. So if you have a device that doesn't support it, of course you're still going to have no coverage. So that device, that 600 megahertz device, is going to be good for both areas where T-Mobile doesn't have any coverage and areas where they weren't able to obtain the entire 700 megahertz license to roll out and expand more coverage. Now, for part of the stretch, once you get out of city limits of El Paso, they have band 12 only sites for the coverage to reach as far as it possibly can. And then once you get outside of Van Horn, and this was back in 2016 as well, when I traveled to Fort Stockton, I had the same issues. I was roaming on Edge from AT&T for most of the stretch once I got outside of Van Horn. So soon, real soon, West Texas, it is part of the 600 megahertz first phase. So really soon that coverage will be filled in and it should work flawlessly and no issues. So yes, once again, I do think it is very important to get a 600 megahertz device right out the jump. So you can, if you're traveling or whatnot and that specific area doesn't have the entire 700 megahertz license, 600 will fill it in. So just wanted to give you guys this info, show you guys a little map that there are still some gaps where T-Mobile wasn't able to obtain the entire 700 license, but they have the 600 now. So it's coming really soon. So definitely be on the lookout for that, and I will keep you guys up to date as more info comes out. So definitely make sure that you guys get a device that has this band 71 on it. The Note 8 and the LG V30 should be the first devices this year to have the band on them. And then going forward, I think all the flagship phones will support this spectrum as well. So definitely stay tuned to the channel. Lots more content coming. Like, share, subscribe. This is Tyrone with Tech Life, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.